We're at Pritchard Park in West Kelowna. Now, the current lake level here is at 342.7 meters above sea level. In 1990, it got to 342.86, which caused significant flooding here and in other parts of the lake as well. The big problem is the lake is rising at 3 centimeters per day here, and it could get to 343 meters above sea level, which is about right here. And as you can imagine, that will cause significant flooding not only here in the park, but also along many properties along the lake.
Like in many other central Okanagan communities, we first and foremost want to recognize all the crews that are helping us battle what is becoming an unprecedented lake level flood watch event. Right now, the lake is sitting at 242.7 meters, 242.7 meters. I'm told that in 1990, the lake reached 242.86 centimeters, and it was at that point that areas like the one we're standing in right now began to flood. So let's begin by thanking all the crews that are helping us out. Those are municipal crews, those are volunteers, those are crews with the BC Wildfire Service. Without them, none of this would be happening to the degree and the expediency at which it is. So here at Pritchard Park in the city of West Kelowna, what we're seeing is a number of sandbags going up. We're also seeing a number of portable bladder dams going up. A lot of people have been asking us, like, what are you doing to determine where these are going? Based on a survey of waterfront properties along Okanagan Lake, we've been placing these installations along the foreshore throughout the central Okanagan. The survey that we conducted confirmed the location of the most vulnerable areas prone to flooding from rising lake levels. So primary considerations for the placement of flood protection barriers include protecting public infrastructure. It also includes areas where the foreshore barriers can be installed to protect upland properties. And protection for specific areas was also determined by their risk of flooding and how easily and efficiently the barriers could be put in place, giving crews the time they needed to complete all the work. We also have word that 2 large water pumps installed in downtown Kelowna near Kelowna General Hospital are working around the clock to pump out the storm drain system and lower the water table in those lying areas. We've been getting questions about Kelowna General Hospital.
Well, that's a foot, and that's 3 feet above the lake level now. I guess what do those two markers mean?
That's correct. So as a property owner, what I'd recommend you doing is getting a measure. You can use a measuring tape, a ruler, whatever you have at home. In this particular case, I've got a metric and an imperial tape. So we know from forecasts that we're going to be going up approximately 30 centimeters. So what I've done here is found a fence. Many property owners might have a tree or a dock or a fence. It could be anything close to their property that they could do this similar demonstration. But if I put my tape down at lake level now, you can see that the bottom ribbon is at 30 centimeters or 1 foot. So that's the level that is forecast to come up at a very calm level of the lake. However, what we're recommending is we're prone to spring storms. We're coming into the May long weekend. We're going to get lots of boat traffic. So that's going to create some waves and some wakes. So what we're recommending is an additional 60 centimeters or 2 feet, which brings us to the second tape, which is giving our crews an indicator on the level that they need to protect. And in many cases, that's the level of sandbagging that we're seeing done on our infrastructure.
And that's what you're recommending here is 3 feet above the lake today at this time. That's significantly higher than what we're looking at behind us.
Yes, it is. As Jason alluded to before, this is record levels for us. If it came up to this level of 343, we know from past experience that some residents are going to be prone to some flooding and some damage. So we highly recommend that people do this demonstration, do this for themselves, get a level of understanding what kind of impacts it's going to have on your particular property, and put in the measures you need to do to protect your property.
That's where the lake is now. Think of what a wave will do if a cigar boat goes by. At high velocity, or a bayliner goes by at high velocity. That wave action is going to cause additional damage. So we really want to encourage people who are out boating, especially for the May long weekend, to please keep the speed down, stay away from shore. We want the wakes to really avoid the shore. And the other thing that we want people to do is we want to remind them to keep the debris that is washing up on the foreshore there. That'll help guard against wave action, and it will also help protect from shore erosion. And to some degree, it will also help keep floodwaters at bay. This is one of the lowest areas probably in the central Okanagan in relation to the lake. There are others in the Galatly Bay area. There's certainly some around the Mill Creek area in the city of Kelowna. There are others around Kelowna General Hospital and in the Lower Mission. And at cordemergency.ca/maps, we've posted those advisory areas. We encourage people to take a look.
Well, the bladder dam is a rubber continuous barrier. It's filled with water. What we're doing is exactly what we spoke about earlier, is getting some protection up to that 343 level, and then exceeding that by another 60 centimeters to get it to the 343.6. And so what you're seeing now is a wall of protection to protect not only the infrastructure of the city, but also our neighboring properties.
So one last thing, if I could just remind people that are living in these low-lying areas to get everything up from crawl spaces and basements if they want that property protected, and also be prepared to go at a moment's notice. Go to getprepared.ca, figure out how to get your emergency kit together and what things to have ready to go in the eventuality we should be asking you to move out of your homes. Again, people would go door to door, sign up for updates at cordemergency.ca. So if you're in these areas that are shown in those maps and are concerned about it, you know what's going on and you can keep apprised as well. There is the potential for flooding to start to seep up in low-lying areas. It may even occur before the lake floods, right? Because we've got storm sewer systems that could back up. You've got water table that's filling, like as we walk through the park. We were really walking through some squishy land. And so that's the kind of thing that, the water could start to bubble up behind what you see on the shore.
Waterfront property owners can protect some of their assets out on the lake, and an example would be the dock behind me. That's a city dock. That particular one, not only is it prone to waves and high water, but in a storm event, what we could see is it being knocked apart and destroyed. So what we do as a preventative measure, and we're recommending this be done by residents, is weigh it down. So what we see here is empty juice bins, I believe they are, and those have been pumped full of water, and that's a weighing system that'll hold them down. What we don't recommend is sandbags. I know it's a convenient way to do it, but you're just not going to get the weight there that's needed. And I see some property owners have things like rubber dinghies, things like that they're using. However, when the water exceeds that level, they're just going to float away. So you need something on there that's heavy and secure.